Okay, more on being a visionary, an entrepreneurial visionary. First of all, don't set limits for yourself. Know that all is possible. See? And what happens is people say, well, you better be realistic. Well, yeah, in some ways, it's like oftentimes there tends to be a learning curve in things, but don't make it a belief. That's the problem. See, something that you may need to observe or watch for or look within yourself or how, because say, for instance, that learning curve would be that, say, as a singer, or like I love to sing. I can sing in public and all that, but it's playing the piano that makes me nervous in front of other people. Okay, so anyway, so I go, all right. So if I do that and then sing while I play the piano, because that's what I'd like to do that, have my own little style and everything, and tune my piano to 432, which is really, really cool, acoustical, of course. And so anyway, for me to say, well, okay, I'll be able to do this great aria, Puccini aria that I love, la 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 la. So you might know what it is. Forgot the name of it, but anyway, it's fabulous if I would do my exercises in my voice and get up and then actually do that. But for me to invite everybody over today that I'm going to play that now and sing it, it could. I'm not saying you didn't tap in and it didn't happen, and it could. But if you keep at it, you see, you do the thing, and you do it because you love it. And this is saying, as an entrepreneurial visionary, you know, when people say, well, you better be realistic, don't be telling other people what your vision is, unless it's the time for others to actually participate in it. It's like when I had the title for my first book, What You Think of Me Is None of My Business. And I had that title for 6 years, but I didn't have a book because I just love bragging about the title of the book I was going to write but didn't have, because people will go, wow, love the title. Is that what I was going to live on? I had a message to give. It was one of the very first books on codependency, because those are the kind of relationships, kind of like abusive in that way with alcohol and you know, that whole consciousness that's involved in that. And it's really people just want to be happy, you know, so I'm not making anybody wrong. It's just, you know, and we're trying, and then the problem is we do what other people tell us, so we're not a visionary. We're not a sovereign being. And that we're always looking for validation or for do you like my idea? That's why I don't ask me to critique your books and what you do. I don't do that because I'm just so thrilled that you're doing it. And so I'm not good at that. I can't do that. I can assist people in, you know, how to write a book, because I never used to write a book. You know, I know all these kind of things that I've done my whole life is because I didn't ask other people. And you can read my bio on my website. You know, that's just some stuff. It's not that I'm big, terrific thing. It's just somehow, as I came into this world, and the people that came into my life and such, or I came into their world, encouraged me and supported me in being an entrepreneur as a child. I had activities. I had circuses. I had, you know, plays going on. We had theater. You know, the neighbors were our customers. We were selling stuff, winning prizes. You know, I never thought I could ask my parents for anything because they didn't have it. They were working too hard. Why would I put my stuff on my parents? And I never ever asked them for anything or ever expected anything from them. And they did all their best that they could, and they were wonderful. So this entrepreneurial thing is, if I had ever told people I was going to be on television, have a television ministry. I remember I told a couple of people, I told my girlfriend, one of my girlfriends, and they did remind me years later, but most people would tell, oh, you can't do that. Who do you think you are? Where are you going to get that? Where are you going to get the money? Who's going to back it? How are you going to get a loan? You don't need a loan. If you have to get a loan for something, it's not working. How do people used to build their houses? One part at a time. When they had the money, they could do it, and they put it together. See, all of this other stuff that's going, we think is so fabulous. Look at what's going on in the world, and people say, well, I don't want to look, I don't want to see. Well, you better notice. This is the reality that is being shown to us, that is a reflection of our consciousness, and it isn't yours. It's someone else's script or movie that we've been playing parts and roles in, asking for permission, having someone else empower us, in a sense, by our believing we don't have it, and someone out. So all of this stuff, and it was like I would just have to do the stuff because I wanted to do it. I loved to do it, and I was doing stuff. And then entrepreneurial spirit, everybody really is an entrepreneur in that sense, because even if what you think you're working for an entrepreneur, you're also that because you're taking responsibility for being where you need to be and doing the work you want to be doing or need to be doing that you see is wanted and needed in where people are and where people are going. And then you're the solution because it doesn't come from your mind. You can't think yourself a solution. It's an inner knowing vision, gotta do it, this is gonna work, this will be fabulous. And then the criteria is it good for all, including all animals? All. And meaning souls and living entities, divine beings. And you know who you are because you're compassionate, you're kind, you're loving, and you don't limit yourself, and you don't sit around believing what you see on television or on the news or anything like that is telling you the truth about what's happening. That does not happen. Everyone who's in that, it's PR, it's advertising, it's promoting, it's mind control. So you give up your entrepreneurial, creative powers and ability because you're too afraid, shaking, what's going to happen? Remember Mrs. Fields' cookies? Mr. and Mrs. Fields were sitting around and wondering, what could we do for a business? And Mr. Fields says, this is what I heard, hey, you make a good chocolate chip cookie. Dun, dun, dun. I remember when I first started doing a lot of television shows, forgot back when it was. Anyway, I remember Famous Amos. And we would go to Channel 9 in LA. And I met Arnold Schwarzenegger that way, three or four times. And yeah, interesting. I sat on his lap and felt his muscles. But anyway, I met all kinds of great people. Oh yeah, I know. It's so funny. Even I remember I was on one talk show, G. Gordon Liddy. I went, oh my gosh, look at this. And then, but it was a great way because I wanted to do this because I want to make a difference. It was always about how can I communicate and help other people to be all they can be. And we have to go back to the playground. When did we start making play work? When we started having money involved in it and fame and riches and 5 cents gratification to the point the person, as we see, but people, they just fall dead on the street. I mean, leave their body because of overdose of this and that, trying to get satisfaction. I can't get no satisfaction. Yeah, why? It ain't there. You are satisfaction. So, claim your sovereignty. Don't be looking, when are they going to, don't go to school and say, what can I do? I can choose these classes. They gave you the class. Do your own education. That's why I'm glad I did that. Self-educate. I went where the knowledge was that I wanted and I use it and do it. Yes. Take back your power. You are an entrepreneur. And when you start doing what you love, you're a happy person. Yeah, and you're more creative, more vitality. See? So, yep. To do that, what you want to do is don't accept the limits, take all those off, and never trust the news, never trust the pollsters, never trust all of these things that say, well, if you do this, you'll make the most money. And I remember this one dentist I was going to in LA. Anyway, he always wanted to be a stand-up comedian. And his father wouldn't let him. So he had to go, he says, because you'll be penniless and, So you have to be a dentist. So while you're in the dentist chair, he's doing his jokes, which is fun. And it was nice. And then he was going through all these things. His wife was divorcing and with the kids, took the house. Now, where he was shopping for food at a dollar store. Here he was, and this little dumpy rental of whatever it may be. But hey, no matter how humble, you could make it beautiful just by you being there. But anyway, his father's fears for him happened by him being a dentist. Flip Wilson used to come to a lot of my stuff. He was a really, cool guy and really interesting. Sammy Davis's wife, she would come to events and things like that, and they would just share, like Flip. He just did his comedy act all the time. He was fabulous. Made people laugh and joy. It brought people's spirits up. It was kind. It was loving. It wasn't nasty and mean and cruel and critical and put down. Is that the world you want to live in? You're creating your future right now because it's only in the now. Take back your power. You're an entrepreneur. You have a vision. You can do it. Experiment. Be an inventor. But just won't be looking at other people's rules and regulations and laws and tell you what you can do and what you can't do. Find out. Do your own research. Yes, you will find people like Buckminster Fuller. I got to meet Bucky and I got to spend time with him. I had him speak at my church. And he wanted to know what one person could do without a formal education. And he had great leaders all over the world come and sit at his feet and learn from him. Yeah, that's who you are. You have it all. Claim it.